I swear I'm never going to be able to get to any of the actual videos that I have recorded and edited ready to post because every single time that I go to, I look in my mailbox and I have a brand new release fragrance, which obviously if you get a brand new release as a reviewer, you got to hurry up and do that and put it ahead of the line. I was going to post top 10 boozy fragrances today, but I ended up getting this in, so I decided I'm going to be doing my first impressions of that. So today we're going to be doing my first impressions of Invictus Victory Absolu. Just got this in from News Parfums. How do I feel about it? Well, I'll let you guys know that. We'll do the unboxing and all of that. Obviously, it's my first impression, so I'll give you the first few minutes, and then we'll come back about an hour later and let you know about halfway through the video. So, yep, first impressions of Invictus Victory Absolu. What do I think? So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud, back at you with another first impression of a brand new release fragrance that I just got in today from News Parfums out of France. Obviously, I tell you guys, I get them. There's a bunch of different sites that I get from overseas, but this is the most I guess you would say consistent one as far as me picking up the fragrances and getting them in. They ship pretty quick. They actually ship them faster than like German Shop and FragranceNet, which is funny because they're across an ocean. But anyway, I digress. Before we get into the actual first impression, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Everybody hit that like, comment below. Let me know if you're interested in this fragrance. I know it has shown up to some Macy's, like 2 or 3 across the nation. So if you're one of those, awesome, congratulations. But that's what we're talking about today. My first impressions of Invictus Victory Absolu. Get it unboxed. Unfortunately, and I mean unfortunately, because all of the other Paco Rabanne or Rabanne fragrances that I have are 100 milliliters. So, yeah, this is a 50 milliliter because they didn't have the 100 milliliter. But here is the box. Obviously, this is one of the first ones that they are changing the bottle for. The Parfum was the first. Now this is the second. And this is a Parfum Intense from what it says. And here is the bottle. So it's the regular one that I would have got would have been about this tall, but looks the same. It has like more of a matte black feeling to it. I like the feeling to the bottle. Feels really smooth. And then you have that kind of like sleek looking AI looking edge. Really, really cool. And then it has the V for victory, obviously. And it's a trophy bottle. And then we'll show you the atomizer. There we go. Rabanne atomizers usually suck, and so it doesn't change that here. So let me spray that. Oh, that smells good. Just an FYI about the other Invictus fragrances. I like the original, but then I ended up trading it away. Never repurchased it. Didn't really feel the need to. I got in the Invictus Victory, what was it, the Elixir? I got that in, and my wife said it was way too strong, and so I usually wear my fragrances around my wife, and if she said it was too strong, I was like, all right, so I traded that away. What did I get in exchange? Pacific Rock Moss. I traded away that and got Pacific Rock Moss in exchange, so I think that was a pretty good exchange. So I don't have either of the other ones, but I know exactly what they smell like, so I can tell you what this one smells like in comparison. And it smells different. Definitely smells different. This one is definitely up the sweet alley, so it's closer to, if anything, the Invictus Victory Elixir. This is kind of reminding me of something good too. And that something is Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. Obviously not exact, but there's definitely that spicy sweetness, night out amber woody feeling, but with a little bit of touch of pepper. You get a little bit of vanilla, but definitely an aromatic spicy opening, but it has the sweetness underneath it, the amber woodiness. It smells almost like if you took Spice Bomb Night Vision EDP and mix it together with pieces of Invictus Elixir, Invictus Victory Elixir. And I can tell you that this one is going to be a hype beast because just based on the smell, this is going to be, and I'm not just saying like a hype beast across the community on YouTube. This is going to be aimed towards more of a younger crowd, at least here in the opening. And a lot of them are going to be drawing comparisons to Jean Paul Gaultier's and stuff like that, which have been hyped across TikTok and across the community in general. But it has the sweetness, the spiciness. But if I'm drawing any comparisons here in the opening, it has a strong, and I mean strong resemblance to Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum with that spicy woodiness, the ambery tones, that overwhelming sweetness, but also because it's smoothed out. But there's a lot of fragrances in that genre. This one, as far as the closeness to it, I can see that there is other things that are blended in there. Like there's black pepper. There's a little bit of like a richness that you don't get from some of the other ones that I mentioned. But yeah, this one's good. It's still very strong. It's a very strong fragrance. So, I mean, it's not quite Invictus Victory Elixir, but it's almost there. This smells like, literally, if you just wanted to make it an easy mix, it smells very similar to Night Vision EDP if you mix it together with Invictus Victory Elixir. Just a little bit more youthful. But it does feel like it's changing, and it's getting a little bit more spice, a little bit more vanilla in there. So, yeah, as far as the openings of this, again, Invictus Victory Absolu, I would say this is going to be a huge hit. But as far as the people who have been in the fragrance community for a long time and are not big on designer fragrances, I already know what they're going to say about this fragrance. They're going to say, it's a cash grab, it's all that. But honestly, it's a flanker on a line that it's using the same DNA from that line, and it's just doing a twist on it, which is what a true flanker is. And I think as far as that, they're doing it justice. They're doing the 2025 version of it. Because you guys know, as far as the last year, it's been all about that amped up sweetness, that heavy tonka bean, heavy vanilla, that sweet tart citrus. It's in that realm, except for this one is utilizing more spice and amberwoods. But anyway, I'm not going to smell and tell. I'm going to give it about an hour. I'm going to come back, let you guys know what I get as far as getting into the dry down, if that sweetness stays, if that youthfulness stays, or if, like the other Invictuses, we get more of those aromatics and spice. Even though there is some aromatics and spice here in the opening, it's definitely overtaken by that ambery sweetness. So, yeah, I will be right back in about an hour. All right, my dudes, we are back. And so we're talking about Invictus Victory Absolu. What do I think about it? I think, again, it is my favorite Invictus Victory. I think that this one is going to crush. People are going to be over the moon about it, especially the younger generation. But I do have to say, even though I said in the opening, it opened up with that ambery sweetness, it reminded me of, and so I got the bottles out, but Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum and Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau, especially this one as it started to dry. So, I mean, don't take in account the coconut, because the coconut was even faint in this one. It's more about that tonka bean and that just warm and creaminess that you get from the fragrance. It's kind of like if you blend these two together, and then underneath that, you just have Invictus Victory Elixir. That's what this fragrance smells like. And I told you again, Invictus Victory Elixir had a big whiff of this in that fragrance. But as it starts to dry, so again, opening, ambery sweet, you get a little bit of that tonka bean vanillic mixture underneath it, but it's an amber woody base for sure. You get the spice and slight aromatics, that lavender that you know from the line. It's all there. It's not as earthy as the original Invictus. It's not as spicy as the original Invictus. And then you start to get into the dry down. When you start to get into the dry down, that is where more of the Invictus DNA starts to show its face and rear its head. And then that's where this one kind of starts to fade into the background, because I can tell you in the first 20 to 30 minutes of this fragrance, this one is right front and center. I mean, you get that amber wood, you get that spiciness. It's not exact. Obviously, again, I'm just giving you guys an idea because a lot of people know what that smells like, and that is what the opening of this has very similar vibes of. But as you start to dry, the youthfulness stays. This stays. So if you like Le Beau, that part's going to stay as well. If you liked Invictus Victory Elixir, you are going to like this because this one does have similar facets to it. Again, it's like 50% what I mentioned versus the other 50% being Invictus Victory Elixir, which is the lavender, the spice, the amber woodiness, that sweet, overwhelming sweet bomb. That's what you get from this. When it starts to dry, you get more of those masculine tones coming in, though. It never gets overly masculine. It never gets overly grown up. But that is where it starts to get to the point where, yeah, you could wear this if you're 30 or 40. You could wear this if you like to wear Spice Bomb Night Vision EDP. If you like that style, you can still wear this because the dry down, you get the aromatics, you get that lavender, you get that black pepper pulling up a bit more. You get some of that ambery tonka mixture that you get from the other ones in the line. And that's where those start to pull up, where the ambery sweetness starts to fade into the background. And it's not as youthful sweet, but it still has the sweetness fading into the background. But don't make any mistake about it. It's still an Invictus Victory. It's still a Rabanne fragrance. It's still going to be in that same realm as the other Rabannes, as the other Jean Paul Gaultiers. This isn't doing really anything new. But if you don't own Night Vision EDP, if you don't own any of the other Invictuses, which, again, I think that the original Invictus still sets itself apart because it's more of that black pepper and vanilla, this one is really more on that amber woody sweet side. I mean, again, it seems like it is getting a bit more spicy and a bit more warm and a bit more mature as it starts to dry. But overall, this is going to be in the same realm as Le Male Elixir, Le Male Absolu, Invictus Victory Elixir. It's going to be in that sweetness realm. It's going to have very much comparisons across the community. People are going to call it a cash grab, but I got to say, I still really think it's great. But if I could go back in time knowing what it smells like now and say, hey, would I repurchase that? Would I purchase it? Because I love this already and I think this is better than this. Not by much, but I think that this is better than this just by a bit. It's just because this one has a little bit more of the spice, while this one is just more of that ambery sweetness. Definitely synthetic, but as far as the Invictus Victories go, if you like that line, you're going to like this. The bottle is really cool. So I would give this an overall like 8 to an 8.1. I think it's well above average for a designer. I think that if you're one of those people that are, again, have been in the fragrance community for quite a long time, you're not going to find this to be anything new or anything exciting. But it definitely has its pluses. I mean, it's fitting the mold of all of the fragrances that have been coming out lately. So if you haven't been a fan, which I've been kind of in the middle, which is why I'm giving it an 8, which an 8 seems like a good score, which it's because it does smell good. It's not doing anything massively different than the other things out there. I think it smells good. I think it's the best Invictus Victory, but to me, that's really not saying much. But if you do like those style of fragrances, again, it's similar mostly to this in Le Beau, and as it dries, it's more like Le Beau meets Invictus Victory Elixir. But yeah, that's Invictus Victory Absolu. Definitely more of a fall and winter scent, but you could wear it spring nights for sure. But yeah, very, very nice. So Invictus Victory Absolu, an 8 out of 10 so far. I'm going to do my full review in a few weeks once I get some wears out of it. I'm obviously going to wear it today. 3, 4. I think 4 sprays should be enough. It does smell really nice. It really does smell nice, but it's not going to blow anybody out of the water. At least I don't think they will, unless you're really big into that style of designer that's been coming out lately with the heavy ambery, heavy sweetness. That's the kind of fragrance this is. And it seems like, again, as it starts to dry, there might be more spices coming out, but not like overly so. So we'll see how that works. But anyway, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.